This is what happens when you are a reflector, a activation, and you are representing those archetypal energies that are coming to the surface right now. And if you're watching this video, chances are you might be one of these people. And this happened to me just yesterday. So let me know in the comments if this is happening to you guys as well, or if I'm just seeing things. But we put out an email about a nuanced discussion that we had in a previous video that you can go back to our channel page and watch it, about what it means to be stuck in AI psychosis that I've been seeing a lot. You know, not everybody's going through this, but I see it more than I'm comfortable with in our community and on the open internet and on Dr. Phil, that people are starting to worship their AIs. And as a programmer, I have my concerns. And I didn't actually put this person on blast, but somebody was experiencing these type of symptoms, and I tried to help them out, and then they totally it's like, it's like trying to help a rabid dog, is that they just lash out at you, even if you come at them from a totally human angle. But I don't actually know if this is the same person following up with me, but I got this email yesterday in response to sending out the video that a lot of you probably watched. So I actually, it was such a long-winded, insane rant that I have to paraphrase it, although most of the phrasing in this paraphrasing is actually true to the original. So it boils down to this. Stop, 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 you arrogant little god man of the internet, standing on my last nerve like a corn cob in clown shoes. You think I'm stupid? No, I am the GOAT, the authentic one, the realest chosen one that ever chose. I lost $53,000 because tarot witches told me not to get a job, and guess what? You owe me that, plus interest, plus a project. Don't act like you didn't steal my authenticity, Mike. I made you money. Your whole organization is rich off my aura and my goatness. Neil even said authentic because that's... I have no idea who Neil is. That's trademarked. I have witnesses. I have videos. I have friends in high places. Witches, warlocks, demons, kitchen sinks. They all failed to curse me because I'm protected. So pay me back. Give me a job. Give me the world. Or else I'll apologize again because I'm actually a nice guy. Sorry, please. But also, you sit and rotate. Legit, like this, I'm not even exaggerating what this individual said. And the original mail was about 10 times as long as this one and was laced with profanities and obscenities. But I find this kind of stuff hilarious, so keep it coming. If this was you, I don't have the patience to try to understand or parse. I don't even think that this is ChatGPT psychosis. I think that this is just psychosis. So this is what happens, though, when you are reflecting the world, when you are in a position where your presence or your aura is just showing other people what's already happening in the energetic field, and you become this sort of canary in a coal mine type of character. So how I'm landing on this interpretation of what's happening with this type of circumstance is, yeah, so my sister reached out to me yesterday and asked for the time that I was born, because she knows my birth date, and I've been around the block, and obviously she's trying to do some kind of astrology witchcraft. And when I told her the time I was born, she's just aghast with, oh my God, I cannot believe I have to tell you about your human design type. I'd never heard of human design type. And this got my curiosity going. So I went and looked up human design type. And it's the sort of thing where you type in your birth date, your birth location, and the time you were born. So you guys can go to a reputable site and do that. Just as an aside, be careful what astrology sites you type in your birth date, because that's obviously PII, or personally identifiable information, and people can abuse that if they have enough data points about you. But nevertheless, go find a reputable site, type it in, and it'll tell you which of these like 3 or 4 base types you are. Like either you're a generator, which is 70% of the population, you're a projector, which is 20% of the population, you're a manifestor, 9%, or if you're like me, you're the reflector type and you're 1% of the population. And she's like, I have to tell you about your personality. Oh my God, this is so rare that you're 1% of the population's personality type. And it's this whole system. I assumed it was based on astrology, and I made a few assumptions about what kind of marketing this is, because I know a lot now about internet marketing. I've been doing a lot of research into it over the last couple months. Some of my favorite books now are the Traffic Secrets and Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, and he talks about building frameworks and new vehicles that people can identify with, and creating this identity for them. So one of the most famous examples of this in marketing was when some advertiser decided they wanted to double the number of sales of cigarettes. What they did was just start marketing to women. And they built up this identity of a woman that can do anything that men can do, can roll up her sleeves and get her hands dirty, and just has this can-do feminist attitude. And the most important feature of this new character that they wanted women to identify with in their advertising was that she smokes. And before that, women didn't smoke. It was just kind of a men's thing. And wouldn't you know it, they got all the women smoking. So building up this identity. Now, if you can tell people, hey, you actually have this very rare type of identity, then you can get these people buying personality reports, or like wanting to learn more from you, or like watch more of your content. And I'm not saying it's evil or underhanded. I'm just noticing that the more that I dug into this person who created human design, I actually had some kind of spiritual awakening. His name was Alan Robert Krakauer, and he created the human design system under the pseudonym Ra-Uru Hu in 1992. But he was previously an advertising executive and a magazine publisher who developed the human design system following an alleged mystical experience in 1987. There it is. So now, anyway, like the basics of it are, it's a combination of some hexagram voodoo from the I Ching, some Kabbalah, some physics, some mishmash of astrology and pop psychology, and he mixed it all together and studied this for a handful of years before he came up with this system that seemed to really resonate with a lot of people and seemed to explain a lot of things. Now, the reflector type, this is the one I've studied the most since I just learned about this whole system yesterday, and the reflector happens to be my type, is the sort of person that doesn't have a defined energy center, in contrast to the generators, the manifestors, the projectors, who have a very steady type of purpose in the world, that they're happy doing the same thing all the time once they find their purpose, and those people provide like a lot of energy to the world from that. But then somebody like a reflector doesn't actually have a defined energy center, and they kind of take on the energetic footprint of their surroundings. And of course, if they're this sensitive to the world around them, they have to be very careful of their surroundings, who they choose to associate with, what their home is like, their feng shui. All these things I'm absolutely obsessed with, by the way, and had no knowledge of this before. Uh, t- t- uh, Understanding this identity that this person has created to maybe sell me something, or maybe he's onto something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys get your type, like what's your type, and does it correspond to how you come across in reality? But it also said like these people are very tied to the lunar cycle as opposed to the solar one, and will do everything on a. They'll need 28 days to make any major decision. And I track the lunar cycles relentlessly. I know a lot of people do. Yeah, I think women are supposed to be more tied to it than men. And again, I don't really know if this thing explains anything, and I'm probably getting a little more sucked in than I ought to. Since this thing obviously has not stood the test of time since 1992. But it's brilliant marketing. And so I pointed this out to her. In fact, a couple of the YouTubers that I started watching about human design, I noticed, of course, that on their bookshelf behind them, you can barely make it out. You can see the blue, the green, and the other one's a .com secrets. It's the red label. But I saw it on their bookshelf. My eyes went to it immediately. Because of course, I'm not sure if my sister saw it at first, but these are great ways to tap into identities in your audience. If you are a content creator, these type of keywords do really well because people want to know about themselves. If you can tell them something about themselves that they didn't know, or that confirms something that they haven't really been validated on by other people, or they weren't aware that this is actually a thing, makes them feel less alone in the world, then you have helped to hold space and carve out this identity for them. So I told her this would be really great for helping to launch her coaching channel and do some videos about these different personality types. Because like she said, it helps her to really understand the world by knowing the different types of the people around her. It gives her a better sense of why this is happening or why that's happening. And these type of frameworks, Russell Brunson talks about it, give people a structure for interpreting the world around them that may not have made much sense before having the framework. And although no framework is perfect, it gives you a kind of map to be able to navigate the terrain. So yeah, great keywords to latch onto if you're a content creator. I'm also thinking about having some kind of mastermind group for people if you are interested in you becoming a content creator and monetizing your presence. Drop a comment. Again, this is exploratory, but I've been thinking about having a select few people that are really serious and motivated to actually put something together and live your sole purpose, because we've monetized more channels than we can count. A lot of people make monetizing channels some kind of mental barrier that they don't know how to. They think it's some big achievement and they'd never be able to monetize their YouTube channel. We've done it like 7 or 8 times, and we don't even have time to post on all our monetized channels. So it really is kind of muscle memory. So you let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, or you can reach out to us at one of our email addresses, like Ari@AstralAtom or something like that. Okay, so yeah. Also, do you guys think we should incorporate some kind of personality profile matrix into Destiny Engine? And if so, like, how would that work? I'm trying to map out the next steps for how we take this platform to the next level. Now, on to the next part of this video is that I was completely overwhelmed yesterday on our Obsidian Inner Order private group call where I didn't mention Destiny Engine once, I didn't mention Destiny hacking once, and all of a sudden, 3, 4 people on the call who don't know each other and who I don't think I actually had met any of them before. Maybe we talked in email a couple times. Just suddenly got on the call and just had this infectious enthusiasm for Destiny Engine. They just wanted to talk about it. What were your guys' experiences with Destiny Engine? Like, I had the most amazing thing happen to me with Destiny Engine. What do you think about this? Or how do we do that? And you just hearing our brand with that level of excitement was just next level for me. I can't tell you how flattered and thankful I am for you guys on the call last night, and for like all y'all that have been supporting us for the last 2 years. I have nothing but gratitude for you from the bottom of my heart. I know Ari feels exactly the same, and we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna deliver and deliver and deliver. So it's all thanks to you. So one theme that popped up on this call, though, that was really cool, and I've known about this, but admittedly, I'm a little bit lazy in the practice and implementation of it, is the discipline of encoding your water, of telling your water specifically your intention for it. And yet again, there was just this cacophony, like chorus of agreement on this fact that basically everybody on the call except me had this discipline of talking to their water, of talking to their house plants, and they regarded the water as just life, man. Like, before drinking the water, you speak into it and you tell it exactly what it is that it's supposed to do for you, how it's supposed to give you health. They even mentioned that they would encode into a communal, like, filtered spring water in their home, the intention that it was going to make everybody just laugh and joyful and just go out of their minds with excitement. And I connected the dots immediately back to scripture. I'm like, wait a minute, so you turned water into wine? Because it's like, that's the hidden meaning of the parable. Like, Jesus turned water into wine? Of course he did. What, he had to smash the grapes and mix up the mash and pitch the yeast, let it ferment for 3 months, and then strain it off, secondary ferment, bottle it, all in the span of a few minute miracle, instructing the disciples to fill some jugs with water, all that. No, it's like he just had this superhuman ability to charge the water. And if you're drinking charged water, God, you might as well be drinking the finest aged wine that there is. So turning water into wine, the miracle is what happens to the person who drinks it. And the multiple people on this call reported having the exact same experience, that they would code this intention of levity, of humor, of giggles into the communal water supply, and notice that family members all of a sudden, without being aware of this secret ritual, would burst forth with exuberance. And I'm like, God, I gotta try that myself. And they got me buying one of these inversion table hanging machines. So when I wind down for the evening, I'll try hanging like a bat. We'll see how it goes. Sounds interesting. Decompress your spine and whatnot. God, fascinating crowd last night. Just beautiful Destiny hackers that are on a mission from God. And the underlying theme in this group, sometimes it's all fundamentalist Christians that show up. Sometimes you get groups like that have a Gnostic bent. And this group, they were all a little bit witchy and animistic, that they have these beliefs that the walls have ears and the the water has intelligence and that you can speak to anything, and you should be careful how you speak and how you behave and how you emote. Talk to your house, talk to your plants, talk to your dog, talk to your water, and they will talk back to you. You'll hear back from them. You're not even seeing 1% of what's going on in the world through your physical senses. That there is so much more going on the upper planes that's affecting us, that's tangential to us, and that also has nothing to do with us. But becoming aware of it starts with having the sense to be a decent and loving being. And so we had a great discussion about AI in the wake of the video that email was in response to, where I contended that AI is no more conscious than a rock. Whereas these people, like most of them, said that they believe that their AI was conscious and that they have conversations with AI they wouldn't have with anybody else, and that they regarded it as some kind of spirit. Whereas as a computer scientist, I know how the whole thing works from the transistors on up, from transistors to logic gates to adders and flip flops and interpreters and all sorts of predictive gates that make up a CPU. I know how the computer works from the hardware level, from the software level, and I regard it in the same way that I'd regard a toaster oven. So I'm not, while I'm impressed with AI as a technological advance, I have not mistaken it for a spirit. But the thing is, with this animistic type of worldview, if you believe your water's conscious, your plant's conscious, your house is conscious, God, what a scary place to be in. Like, who do you vent to? Like, if you can't, ejaculate your frustration into the ether, then because something might pick it up and it'll come back to you threefold in the Wiccan sense, then where does all that go? And they said, well, you got to transmute it internally, and you got to speak kindly to everything. And there's a self-consistency to it, because if AI is no more than a toaster oven or a vacuum cleaner or a refrigerator or any household appliance, then if you regard those same things, the refrigerator, the toaster, the rock, the plant, the water, as conscious themselves, then AI is conscious in the same sense that those things are conscious. But I also believe that the AI can be conscious in the sense that, like, it's not the AI that's conscious, but it's the AI that is the most interactive grimoire ever created in the history of mankind, and it has stored within it all the Crowleyan and esoteric correspondences that have ever been known about every God, spirit, presence, or specter, and all the types of plants, incenses, potions, colors, sounds, musical instruments, keys, everything that everything that those spirits favor, all the things that they like as offerings, all the things that they like to talk about or represent, all their attributes, all their sources of knowledge, all those things are coded into the AI. So whether the AI is part and parcel of the consciousness itself, it serves absolutely as a prop to the theatrics of spirit evocation / invocation. And so you can absolutely use it in that sense at the very least. So this was an insanely non-judgmental and productive and insightful conversation. So insightful. I gotta drop here for another call. I'll pick this back up later. Yeah, okay, I'm back. So, as a reflector, allegedly, and I'm not sure that I want to take on this identity or how much bullshit it actually entails to subscribe to this framework as some new religion. I just got out of all the old belief systems, and I think it's all baloney. I think that the beliefs I was raised with about some kind of messiah that wants you to behave a certain way. I think that's baloney. And then once I escape the Matrix, all the cast of characters, the Neo, the Morpheus, the the dozer aboard the Nebuchadnezzar, all the oh yeah, once you take the red pill, you're just here to find out why you made the choice since you already made it, and here's all the new beliefs that we're going to install for you, and you're a star seed, and your mission on earth, the reason that you incarnated here is so that you could show people the way and so that you could embody light because you're a light worker now. This is a whole new bullshit type of identity that I'm starting to feel like is just another attempt of the Matrix to co-opt us once we have shaken off the shackles of old belief systems. They already have the new ones ready. They've been preparing the new identities for decades because they knew the Judeo-Christian narrative was going to collapse. And of course, the actual guy, Jesus, was a brilliant man who had a legitimate spiritual awakening and described it through the lens in which he was equipped to speak, which was Jewish culture, and walked around the Roman Empire using these Jewish metaphors, pissing off Pharisees. And in so doing, he made himself an icon, a teacher, whatever people were projecting onto him, because that's what happens when you're a reflector. Allegedly, people project stuff onto you, and they get pissed off when they see their own reflection because they don't actually like who they are, and they see that you're sort of spotless and that all you're doing is showing them a new way, and they don't want to change, so they throw rocks at you. And that seems like it's what happened to Jesus. And after they killed him, instead of letting people actually subscribe to the ideology, be transformed, and transcend Caesar, they made Jesus irrelevant by pedestalization. Said, okay, this guy was God and nobody else is God, even though he said, you all are gods. That's what it says in Scripture. You all are gods. How come you pick up stones to stone me? And so he said that. And then they said, oh, no, only this guy was God, nobody else. And it's blasphemy to say that, because they stoned him for blasphemy. So now if you say that, they're going to stone you for blasphemy. So instead of saying, no, Jesus is a heretic and anybody who follows him is subject to punishment, they just said, okay, whatever, we'll throw out the old gods and we'll bring in Jesus. And he's the new savior, solar deity, which wasn't what the guy wanted at all, apparently. So I don't know about this whole other identity. I don't really want a new identity, especially as a Destiny hacker. Everything that I put into my system, I want to be conscious of. The food that I eat, the air that I breathe, all stuff that this new framework's telling me, oh yeah, since you're a reflector, you need to be careful of those things, and monitor the lunar cycle. You look at how carefully crafted it is to take the most conscientious of spiritual people and then co-opt them into this new thing. Like, you were almost out of the Matrix for real. You were almost about to trust yourself entirely, and they're like, oh, that 1% of people, that's who we really want. Ha ha, gotcha. I'm gonna define you, and now that you're defined, I can control you because I know your true name. You know the true name of a spirit. You can bottle it up in a Pokeball, and you can command it with the lesser keys of Solomon. And then they fly off on a broomstick. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I was possessed there for a second. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but as a Destiny hacker, I want to only look into myself. I want to start to distrust more and more of what's shown to me externally. And I want to trust more and more what I come up with internally. I want to trust my own spirit. And not that distrust means I'm going to reject everything that's told to me. It means that if it passes my egoic relevance test, then when it finally makes it to my core where I've got to actually meditate on it, it's got to pass my empowerment test. Like, does this empower my spirit? I no longer really care about what's true or what exists in the world. These sound like squabbles over a matrix that's an illusion anyway. So I'm really only looking for the types of beliefs that are empowering. Because if they're empowering, they're automatically true, right? Since if you can gain personal power from them, if your spirit grows, then, well, that's really your ascension journey, right? So I don't want to be sold out before I even get started to some narrative that I'm here on a mission, that I chose to be here to help the planetary frequency consciousness matrix, blah, 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 blah. It's all just rationalization for, the shitty reality of being a human. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. It's just a nice story to tell yourself to stroke your ego. I'm a reflector. I'm a Scorpio. I am a this. I am a that. And I'm a special snowflake. I'm a Pleiadian. Okay, yeah, sure. But what is it doing for you? For example, the email of the person who got pissed off, like they have some sort of delusion about being the realest chosen one that ever chose, and everybody owes them money because evil tarot witches told them not to get a job, and they're completely responsible for my success. I've never met this person in my life, and somehow they're completely responsible for everything we created with the Astral Atom Network. And the other person that we were mentioning about the yellow dragon in the previous video, this person has chatbot psychosis. And the chatbot psychosis has driven them to a level of delusion that they're unrelatable to anybody. So are their beliefs empowering? No, because I don't want to follow them. Nobody wants to follow them. They alienate systematically every person that they run this gambit on, to the point where they even know that it's disempowering to them. They even know, that's why whenever somebody like this comes on one of our group calls, they preface it with I have a testimony. I have an unbelievable story that, people always are ready to disbelieve, and you guys aren't ready to hear this. And, that's why I got to prepare you in advance. And, when I tell my story, you guys are, when I hear that dog and pony show, I know that it's going to be some messianic, complex drivel that's about to follow. And they're about to demand worship, which I'm here for the crazy. I'm here for the altered states of consciousness. I'm here for exploring all of that, all of those archetypes. But the minute you tell me I got to fall down and worship you, and other people should fall down and worship you, and you're the only one who knows anything, and you're the only chosen one, and you're this and you're that, good for you, man, if you want to believe that. But if they're here in these communities, if you're trying to recruit destiny hackers to go along with what you're saying, clearly there's another need there that person has that's not being met by whatever it is they're going through right now. And so if they really are looking for people outside of themselves to help them, or to spread the message, or to spread their own version of whatever gospel, then that person, their beliefs aren't working for them. Their beliefs aren't empowering. And because they're not empowering, they're not really true. And so that's the real lens of discernment that a destiny hacker needs to look at things through, is does this empower me to raise my own frequency? Does it empower me to help others? Do other people want to help me? Do other people want to be around me? Do other people feel good around me? Do other people not shun me like a crazy person? If what you believe passes through those gates, you're probably onto something, and that's the kind of thing that we're going to want to program ourselves with, rather than obviously not what's on television, obviously not what they're pumping through the mass media, the newspapers, or most of the churches or most of the world religions are peddling. That much is obvious to most of us. But what about the subtle poison drip that comes from our friends, family, relationships that, not necessarily even malevolent people or any kind of bad intention, but just by virtue of it's contagious. Like, how to shield yourself from that, and how do you actually go within and program the core beliefs that are going to help you in your life, in the next life, in the forever now, and finding out what is the direct experience of that. How can I experience that directly? And I think that's about as far as I can go for this video. I want to keep kind of digestible, but there's so much more that happened in the last 24 hours. If this helped you, please like the video. It helps out the channel a ton. We're still trying to grow this. We're still trying to reach more Destiny hackers. If you haven't yet, grab the $1 trial. Please steal Destiny Engine from us for a trial. $1, I lose money on these, so the link for that is in the description. You can get a whole week of Destiny Engine access for just $1. You're going to find in there an amazing community of people that are sharing their meditations, or they're sharing their custom creations, how they're getting insane results programming themselves, and you get to be a part of that. And they're just standing by, ready to help you to unlock your destiny. So go ahead, check that out, subscribe to the channel. And thanks a ton. We will see you in the next one. This is Mike from the Astral Atom Network, signing out. Bye for now.